All right, Garrett, my man, welcome to the show. How we doing tonight?
Doing good, doing good. Appreciate you guys having me on.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We love having baseball players. We definitely love having national champions on. But let's break the ice a little bit. And I want to talk to you about. I was watching the fall ball games last year, and I happened to meet your brother, and when we were talking the whole time, and first, it was like 30 degrees. I really didn't want anything to drink as it was because I was freezing. And I understand that y'all have the showers in Swayze and everything, but Natty Light is what he had. And let me tell you, Garrett, Natty Light is just something, that's 20 years ago for us. I don't do Natty Light. He insisted, and then the friends that were with him told me I couldn't turn down the drink. So I had one. But my question for you in bringing this up is, now that you're a national champion, has your brother moved past Natty Light? Have we upgraded?
There is no way he has upgraded from Natty Light. He still tries to live like he's in his college days. I have a younger brother, also. They try to be alike and act the same and drink the same stuff. So no, I don't know if he'll ever grow up and grow into like a grown man drink or something like that.
Oh, Natty's a grown man drink.
Yeah. You got to be a real man to hit that.
Yeah. He's on a teacher's salary and all that stuff. So maybe he's just trying to play it smart. I don't know, but we need to do something about it.
But I will tell you this: he hyped you up the whole time. He kept telling me that you were going to make an impact on this team. Just wait, and he talked to me through the whole game and just about your career, and then I found out a lot about your story before well before we asked you on here. But with that, man, how does it feel to have the support of a brother who just has the utmost confidence in you, that just, tells me at the time it's a stranger, just wait to see what my brother does on this field?
Yeah, I have mixed emotions about that. I like that he's talking about me, but I don't like that he's talking so much good about me. Like I'd rather him not say anything than that, because I wouldn't do that. But it is awesome. He grew up. Obviously, we both grew up in a baseball family. He played junior college baseball, dealt with some arm problems and stuff, but he was able to help me through the process. I learned a lot from him through baseball and going the junior college route and all that good stuff. So it's awesome to have him, and I appreciate his confidence. But maybe he can keep it on the down low next time or something.
I mean, you're a national champion, so we're going to get to that. Randy will get that in a little bit, but apparently he knew what he was talking about. But, where are you boys from?
We're from Claremore, Oklahoma. It's about 25 minutes northeast of Tulsa.
I got you. And so, you was talking about you had a little brother too. Family dynamics is just the three of y'all.
Three. Yeah, that's my three full brothers. My parents were divorced when I was 10 years old. So I got some step siblings now. But it started with just us three.
I got you. And so, you talk about a baseball family. Just how competitive was it in that household growing up?
I mean, it was awesome. My dad's a baseball coach still to this day. So we just came up in baseball and, basketball, football. But my older brother's only 4 years older than me. My younger brother's 2-year difference. So we were close enough to the same age where we could have some fun together, pick on each other a little bit. I had to be careful with who I chose to pick on. But no, it was a good time. Super competitive, a really fun household to grow up in.
So you seem like a really humble guy, but I'm going to need you to be open and honest. You said your dad coached, which means he probably played. Your brothers played. If I was to ask you, who the best baseball player in the family is who is it?
I would have to say myself. It's hard to say because my dad, believe it or not, he played college soccer instead of college baseball, which is kind of crazy. And my older brother was a pitcher, and then he got hurt, so it is hard to say. But I would have to go with that.
So with your dad being a soccer player, was soccer something you played growing up? Did you play any other sports other than baseball?
Yeah, I played just baseball and basketball. I tried football 1 year, and that didn't work out very well. I'm not sure if I can play high school football at the size I am right now. So I was definitely at an unfair advantage when I was younger.
I was thinking about hitting you with that joke, but I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do that to him. I was going to say that your size isn't made for football.
No, never will be.
So, playing baseball in Oklahoma, we're familiar with how it is here in the South. Travel ball is such a big deal. Is it the same way in Oklahoma?
I would say it's trying to get to that point, but I don't think it's as big of a deal as it is down here. I didn't know much about it down here. I never did perfect game or anything like that, which is kind of crazy. but also played for DBAT Dallas growing up in the summer. So I would live in Texas for the summer, lived with a host family, and played summer ball there. There was some good competition in the Oklahoma area, but it just wasn't as serious as it was down in Texas. So I had that opportunity and tried to run with that.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, we don't get too many guests that are from Oklahoma. So with that, man, who was your favorite athlete growing up? And it may have not even been somebody from that area, but just curious being a guy from Oklahoma.
I think someone I looked up to a lot, and it's more personal than anything, was Dylan Bundy. He's a right-handed pitcher in the big leagues now, played for the Orioles, plays for the Angels now, I believe. But my dad had the pleasure of coaching him, and I got to be by his side and listen to him and work out with him. Him and Pete Cosma, who's also was a big leaguer at one point, still trying to play. Those two guys really, I think, were, the most impactful, and I looked up to the most.
Yeah. And so with that, got your favorite, or most impactful athletes that influenced you growing up. I got to know, what was your baseball movie? Like, what was your favorite baseball movie growing up?
Probably For the Love of the Game. I honestly don't watch I don't watch movies that much at all, honestly. Like, I'm not a fan at all, but that one's probably my favorite.
That's an interesting one, being that you're not a pitcher. I'm actually surprised with that answer.
I think I wish I could be a pitcher. Just can't throw hard enough, right?
Don't we all?
It'd be more fun.
Daniel is the pitcher on this show. Me and Randy, we ain't got nothing to do with that.
Yeah, go out on Friday nights, pitch, win, and then just hang out till next Friday. I mean, you can't beat that.
No,
They do have it made.
That's the life.
Yeah.
That is the life.
Now, if you do struggle, you got to sleep on it for a week. So that's the tough part. That's the nice thing about being a hitter. But other than that, it would be fun.
So another interesting question I got, being that you're from Oklahoma, being as, once again, Randy will get to this later, but being as who you had to face in the national championship, did you grow up a Sooners fan?
I grew up an Oklahoma State fan. So my mom went to school there. A lot of my family went to school there. So I wasn't an OU fan. My dad and brothers are big OU fans.
I'm a man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you saw the fist pump from both the guys. We absolutely love Van Gundy. Who doesn't?
Let's go. That's awesome.
What about I gotta ask this, because I'm a diehard Russell Westbrook fan. So Oklahoma City was my team for years. Did you like OKC?
I went to a couple games. I'm not
said no.
Basketball, but not really. Like I'm a Golden State Warriors fan.
Oh,
God.
The episode's
All right,
over.
guys. Well, this has been nice.
See, you would have been better off actually just saying OKC, because they're both Grizzlies fans, and there's some beef right now, obviously, with the Warriors from last year. So you would have been better off just saying OKC, but you had to say Warriors and really rock the boat.
There we go. I'm not a true fan, so it doesn't count.
They don't have true
None
fans,
of them are.
Yeah.
But I mean, being that you're a basketball player, I actually figured you'd probably be more into it.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy it, but never, cared enough to have a favorite team or, sell out to one team or another.
Sell out. What a team to be a part of, because I feel like every fan is a sellout for those dudes. But
They cold, though. No doubt about that.
you know what? I'm going to chalk it up to this, Garrett. You're a young dude, and everybody makes mistakes,
Yeah.
and there's still time to turn that choice around.
Yeah, I can. I'm open.
So the Grizzlies have plenty
Might
of
have to
room.
head down to
So,
Memphis and check out a game. See if
You
we can
should,
change
man.
it around.
You won't be disappointed. You might see a once in a lifetime player.
But I'm gonna need you to head up though, because you're in Oxford, bro.
Yeah. That is
You come up here to a Grizz game, man. Let's meet up. No natty light, though. I'm not man enough for that, but I got you, though.
All right, let's do it.
All right. So Garrett, man, you mentioned going to Texas to play travel ball. I'm assuming you didn't make that trip for high school ball. So talk to me a little bit about Oklahoma and the high school that you went to.
Yeah, I went to Claremore High School, which is a 5A school, about 300 people in a class. High school baseball was pretty solid, honestly. There was a pretty big difference between 5A and 6A. Didn't have the opportunity to play in 6A, but we had some good competition. I was fortunate to have some really good high school coaches. My brother actually got to coach me 1 year in high school, which was awesome. I think the hardest part was having to play against my father. So he was a high school coach, still is, like I said, and coached for another school in the district. So we always had to play each other every year. So that was fun and sucked at the same time. But high school ball in Oklahoma was solid, and it was a good experience for sure.
Did you play any other sports? Basketball?
I played basketball in high school my freshman year and senior year. That's it.
All right. So let me ask you this. Obviously, we have guys on here that play multiple sports all the time, and for some reason, all the baseball guys that come on here say they're hoopers. Can
Yeah.
you still hoop a little bit?
Until I had labrum surgery, I would say I was a decent hooper, and now I can't shoot to save my life. So no, but I still enjoy it. We still go play sometimes up here, which we probably shouldn't do. But we do sometimes go to the rec center up here and play some pickup for a little bit.
There you
Coach
go.
Bianca,
There you
don't
go.
listen to this podcast, and if you do, skip past that part.
Yep. This was not in it.
Oh, you know
No.
what? Since we talk about Coach B and we talking about extracurriculars, this wasn't on the script. I got to know this ahead of time before we get to Ole Miss. Are you a study hall guy, Garrett?
I'm not.
We are proud to hear it.
Yeah, I'm not.
This is the official delay the podcast for study hall. That's what we do around here. I can't tell you how many times I can't tell you how many times we've had guys from your team that would text Jim, "Oh man, I need like 10 minutes. I got to finish up study hall."
Hey, that doesn't surprise me at all. We got too many guys in study hall.
Yeah, but hey, I guess it pays off because on the field you're doing big things out there. So hey, I guess coach will probably take that. I mean, he may not be happy about it, but if the end result is a national championship, I think he'll sleep just fine every night.
Probably so.
So you are a 4-year letter winner at Claremore under Coach Jim Sherrill. You batted your junior year 375, 43 runs, 34 RBIs, 12 stolen bases. That was just as a junior. And you followed it up your senior year with a 376 batting average, 39 runs, 23 RBIs, 7 stolen bases, you were a 5A, 4 all district selection. Like, there's a lot of like accolades and a lot of stats, man. That's amazing. Do you ever think, what it was like then in comparison to now? Like, did you think that you would be on a trajectory then to be where you're at now?
To start, I didn't even know my high school stats. So that's actually kind of crazy. I did not know I knew the general ballpark, but I did not know them in depth like that. So that was cool to hear.
Your brother did.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's where I got it from. If you think I got these from anywhere other than your brother, you're wrong.
He sent you to him. He texted you my stats, huh? No, I think it was different. There's such a big difference between high school and this level, and even the gap between high school and junior college is, insanely different. And the jump from junior college to the SEC is a huge jump. So at the time, I wasn't really sure what was going to happen. I wasn't heavily recruited out of high school, pretty undersized. So I thought I had, decent years and good numbers, but not a whole lot came up at the time. So just kept working and kept my head down and just tried to run with any opportunity I was given.
So when you reflect back, I mean, you were able to go to back-to-back regional titles. You made an appearance in the state title game in 2017. Of those 2 seasons, your junior year and your senior year, which is your favorite?
My junior year for sure. We lost in a state championship game, but that was a fun run. We had a really good group of guys. Came back in the state tournament first round, down by 2 going into the last inning, I believe. Came back and walked them off. Won a 1-hit ball game in the semifinals. We had 1 hit all game. We got dominated all game. Just fell in at the right time, and then got beat up pretty good in the championship game. But that year was by far the best run and the most.
Was that your favorite moment, that walk-off win in your high school career, or did that come later, maybe the next year?
That was probably the best moment, especially against a team that we've had some, I don't know what the right word to use is, some tough battles against some teams a team we don't really like or care for, me specifically and my family. So that was a fun way to, send them home.
That's what he was really trying to do.
Yeah.
He was trying to be very polite about how much he disliked that team.
I don't like them.
Hey, it's all good, man. So obviously, when you have a run like that and you have the stats that you have, the next transition is obviously colleges. So
right.
At what point do colleges start reaching out to you and start getting, your interest in them?
Right. I feel like it's a little different now, or at least seems different. We got so many guys committing at 14 years old and freshmen in high school, and we're offering eighth graders here at Ole Miss, and it's crazy. Mine didn't really happen to my senior year of high school, really. A little bit my junior year, a little bit of interest, and then it picked up my senior year a lot, but not a lot in, hey, SEC schools are reaching out or Big 12 schools are reaching out. More of the junior college, small Division I schools were reaching out, and mainly in the spring of my senior year.
So obviously you choose Johnson County. What was it about them that made you choose to go that route?
I was choosing between Johnson County and Crowder College, which is where my brother went to school. So he had a good relationship there with their coach, and went through all of that. And obviously they're a really good program. But I visited Johnson County. The facilities they have there in Overland Park are very nice for a junior college. Of course, it is still the junior college route, but it's way more advanced than other places. You're in a big city, 20-25 minutes from Kansas City. Off campus living in apartments, full turf field, full indoor, full locker room, insanely nice. So I didn't want to pass up on an opportunity like that, to get that experience. And they're really good at sending guys off to the next level. So
That's a pretty legit setup they have there, man. That's unbelievable. But obviously you served as team captain under Kent Shelley. You were NJCAA second team All-American. You hit 322 as a freshman. You had 7 doubles, 3 triples, a bomb, 4 runs scored, 26 RBIs. And then the following year, which was a shortened season, you hit 339 in just 23 games, man. You had 5 doubles, 22 runs scored. I mean, the list of accolades goes on and on. I mean, no errors, 37, opportunities to field the ball. Just those stats alone, man, you would think that, all right, you're doing big things, you're going to move to the next level. But obviously, at what point in that do you go, all right, my level of where I can go is top tier Division I, or it's mid-level Division I, or it's not that at all? At what
right.
point do you start saying, I need to narrow these choices into this category?
Right. I think once you get to junior college, obviously your goal is, either to get drafted or, go to the SEC or go to a Power 5 conference. But that's hard. And, it was a hard decision for me to make. After my freshman year, I started getting some calls from some mid-major schools, but never really wanted to settle. Wanted to shoot for, what's best and a Power 5 school, but also a good fit at the same time. So our coaches there at Johnson County were really good about helping you get in contact with schools that you were interested in. They would shoot spam emails, which is probably annoying to a lot of colleges, Power 5 schools, getting emails from them all the time. But it truly helped me and other guys on our team get, interest from other schools. I thought I was going to be a mid-major guy, to be honest, at the time. After my freshman year, I thought that was probably going to be the best fit for me. And I started getting a couple, bigger school looks and realized maybe this is an opportunity, but I want to be careful with what I choose, to do with my next couple years. So it was hard to decide at the time, but once some big schools started coming in, I felt like, it was meant to be, and I was going to try to run with the opportunity.
So when when you're finishing up that junior college season, what do you think, you gained from your experience at the JUCO level? And, prior to going to JUCO, you could have went to, Division I, you could have went to, mid-major, but you chose JUCO. Do you feel like after that opportunity was over, it was the right choice?
Yeah, 100%. At the time, I wasn't sure. And I think it's like a lot of high schoolers, my first offer was from Stephen F. Austin, which is a mid-major in Nacogdoches, Texas. And a lot of people want to hop on that, that first offer. I got offered, 25% and thought it was so cool, but really, at the end of the day, it's not worth it to do that, in my opinion. Now it works out for some people, but a lot of people are caught up in they want people to see where they're going. They want to be that high school guy that's committed early, that's committed to a Division I school. And it takes a lot of courage and pride to be that guy that says, like, I'm not going to fall into that trap. And I think that having my family helped me with that a lot, made me realize, wait around, go the junior college route. My brother experienced it, how beneficial it was. And And then getting to junior college, I think it just develops you a lot, not only as a player, but as a person. It takes you away from home, gets you living on your own. I was 3.5 hours away from home, which was close enough where if I needed to go home, I could, but far enough to where, I had my own space. I didn't have to worry about anything. And then just the lessons, dealing with school, dealing with baseball, conditioning, everything that comes with it at the junior college level. I think that all helped me a lot. Helped me become a better player, a better person. And I think is one of the biggest reasons I'm here today for sure.
So one of the questions that we find, the most fascinating is when we get, to this point in your story is at what point does Ole Miss reach out to you? Who is it that's reaching out? Are you talking to them or are they coming and pursuing you?
Right. So I went in and met with my assistant junior college coach, David Canary at the time. And he wants you to, make a list of schools that you're interested in, that you want to go to, stuff like that. And I ended up reaching out to Ole Miss. I didn't know much about them, but, thought I was a cool school, saw them on the season online, all that stuff. They're pretty good at social media exposure. So I think that caught my attention. So I, sent them an email and ended up getting a reply and sending some video over, and somehow it worked from there. I don't know.
He followed the Peyton Chatinier TikTok trail. I see it.
I know. He's my roommate now too. I got to deal with that all the time.
He is TikTok famous. So obviously, however you get there, you reach out, it all works out. And then, so now let's fast forward a little bit. You're in Oxford, Mississippi. You said you didn't know a lot about him, obviously from Oklahoma, spent some time in Texas. So when you get to Oxford, is it a culture shock from where you came from to Oxford?
I don't know about like culture wise, like location wise, the style of living. I don't know about a lot, but I think the biggest thing was I moved here not knowing anyone. I didn't know one person at the University of Mississippi. I didn't know a soul. So I moved down to my apartment. Coach Lafferty set me up with 2 roommates that were coming in. And of course, I'm the first guy to move in. So I move in. My parents helped me. My parents are like, hey, we're leaving. Like, appreciate you guys helping me move in. And now I'm sitting on my couch waiting. All right, the next 2 guys that walk in this door, I'm going to live with for this next year. And I have no idea who they are, what they do, what they're like, So I think that was the most nerve-wracking moment is, just not knowing what was going to happen. I didn't know anyone on the team. So walking into the first team meeting, I don't have anyone to sit by. I don't have anyone, hey, I'm going to go talk to this guy just because I know him. Like, I didn't have that connection. So I think that was the hardest part coming here.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you end up getting close with these guys, you brothers for life, but who was like the first person that really kind of took you under their wing and made like a leader to you?
I think it's Peyton Chatinier. And I didn't know him, well at the time. My roommates were Mitch Morrell and Brandon Johnson, who were both amazing guys and really good roommates. But we also lived in the same complex as a lot of older guys. And I had the opportunity of, hanging out with those guys with one of the first weekends. And I think Peyton was just one of those guys that, took me under and, showed me how it is around here and was really open and, allowed me to ride along with them, do things that they would do, which I think is important to get guys involved. So I'm really thankful for that.
Absolutely. Does he ever let you get in his TikToks?
He's tried. I've actually had to make a TikTok before and not my style, but
Wes Burton came on here and said his TikToks were for baseball, whereas Peyton's were for 12-year-old girls. That was a direct quote.
Wow.
That's tough right there.
Well, alrighty, moving on. So
don't act like you weren't here for that, Randy.
So
what I heard from that is Garrett did not deny that.
Yeah. So Garrett, first year, your first action comes at Globe Life Field at the State Farm College Showdown versus Texas. And obviously you talked about spending some time in Texas, but just talk to us about what that atmosphere was like in that showdown.
That's one of the coolest experiences I've ever had for sure as a baseball player. Just being in that atmosphere, playing at that type of field in front of 20,000 fans, whatever it was at the time, against really good competition. But when my name was called, it was kind of scary. I was new, wasn't sure what my role was going to be. Have had a tough role, and Peyton actually pulls up on his 3rd double of the game, I want to say, pulls his hamstring coasting into second base. And I didn't know my name was going to be called. I didn't know what was going to happen. All I hear is, Wood grab a helmet, and I take off to second base and look up, and it's like, holy shit. Like
There's
this
a
is
lot
crazy.
of damn people.
Yeah. Like this is awesome, but this is nerve wracking. But that was a really cool experience. Got an at bat there. I think I walked actually, but it was really fun.
How much family was able to come see you there?
My mom and my dad were both there. I think they were there at different times or different games. I'm not sure who was actually at the game that I played in, but both my brothers were also there. So it was really cool.
Well, of course, of course. So you see some playing time here and there in your first year, but you get your first RBI in the Super Regionals against Arizona. Obviously, that's a loss, but how did it feel to get out on the big stage? And not only that, but to come through with an RBI?
Yeah, I think it was tough to swallow all year. And I try to be the best teammate I can be, show up to the field every day, be the best player, be the best person. And I think that's, why I'm treated the way I am, why a lot of people respect me, just for, being that type of person. So I think that year was kind of tough on me. I didn't really show it, didn't really let people know. And I hated that, my first RBI was at the last game of the season. But it was cool at the time to step on that stage and compete. I think the biggest feeling is just not being out there actually competing, you're still involved in the dugout. You still have a role. Your role is very important, but it's a little different once you step across those lines and go to war,
Absolutely. So I kind of want to dig into that a little bit. You talked about how tough it was for you and, being a good teammate, and you've obviously set the example of what that looks like, but how do you stay mentally engaged on a team, obviously high performing team like Ole Miss, obviously playing on the biggest stage? How do you stay engaged and stay being a good teammate when I know you probably didn't always feel like it? We can obviously put on the good teammate face, but how do you do it?
I think the biggest thing is just showing up to the field every day and just realizing the opportunity I had. Not a lot of people, have the opportunity to play here at Ole Miss, and not just Ole Miss, but other schools across the country. And people would give up a lot of things, I think, to be in the shoes I was in and the shoes I am in. So I think, waking up every morning and realizing that I have the opportunity to better myself and to play for a top team in the SEC, I think that held me together. And then, of course, the team and the coaches were really, really good about it, bringing everyone together. They're really good teammates and coaches. So that helps a lot.
Yeah, absolutely. So you guys last year, coming into the season, there's a lot of hype around Ole Miss in the preseason, deservedly so. How motivated and hungry is the team first, and then specifically you coming off the tough year you had?
Yeah, I think everyone was excited. We fell a game short in Arizona in the Super Regional, one game away from the World Series. So I think everyone was pretty fired up for the new season. Had some new guys coming in. But for me, I think it was more of, I'm here to be more than what I was the year before. I want my role to be something better than that. I'm still going to be the best guy I can be, the best teammate. But I want to do whatever I can to increase my role in a way, no matter what that may be. So I think that kept me, driven and trying to be the best player I can be every day.
Yeah, Garrett, let me ask you, you talked about coming in, not knowing anybody, and, you didn't have somebody to go sit beside. Has that lent you to taking in some young guys and kind of showing them maybe like, hey, come sit by me or anything like that? Or are you just like, nah, man, earn your stripes, boy?
No, 100%. I bring guys in all the time. I feel like that's a important role for me this year is, being a leader and, hopefully being the team captain, and bringing these freshman guys in and, showing them this is how we do it, and not in that way of, hey, do this or do that, just show them the ropes, make them feel comfortable and confident. Cause I know how it feels to show up, and I showed up at 21 years old. These guys are showing up at 17, 18 years old.
Yeah, I can only imagine.
Crazy. Yeah. So just try to help them feel comfortable. Let them realize, they're here for a reason. That's the biggest thing is everyone's going to fail. Everyone's going to make mistakes, but there's a reason you play for Ole Miss. There's a reason you're in the SEC. And that's because you were one of the best players in your high school and your class. So just be yourself and play like it, and everything's going to work out.
Absolutely. So you guys start off hot. You hit a bad slump. Everybody knows. But talk to us specifically, because it just seemed like that you guys with veteran leadership, talk about that veteran leadership. You're a part of this veteran leadership, I would imagine, and just how you guys were able to keep the young guys grounded and say, everything's still in front of us.
Yeah, I think leadership played a huge role in our success. And yeah, we went down a dark place for that stretch, and it was tough on everyone. And Tim Oko, the captain of, our team, did a good job of keeping guys together. Even older guys too, Hayden Leatherwood, Max Chofie. Those guys, brought everyone together, Ben Van Cleve, and made it realize like, hey, this is our last time playing baseball. We don't want to go out like this. And I think it helped these younger guys realize, like we were so close as a team that I wanted to win for this team, for this university, for this coaching staff, but I also wanted to win for guys like Hayden Leatherwood and Ben Van Cleve, this would be their last season. And I don't want them to go out on a note down the road we were going down, So I think that played a huge role. But also the coaching staff was amazing during this time. We'd show up to practice and it was like we were the best team in the country, which, we were number one at one point, and then we fell off the map and no one knew who we were. But they showed up the same every day, made us realize, hey, let's just get better, keep practicing the same way we've been practicing all year. We knew we were good. We just weren't playing good, So we knew we had it in us, but they helped us be comfortable and relaxed, not panic or pressured, and helped us get back to where we were.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to talk specifically. We all saw the video of the selection show when you guys get called out, but take us inside that room, Garrett. What beforehand, is it just, are you nervous? Are you more nervous before that selection show or when you're waiting on two new roommates to come into your apartment?
That selection show for sure. So the week before, we were a really close group. Sorry. We would always hang out together outside of baseball. So of course, we're all together watching games that are going on, which is probably the worst thing you can do, is follow other games that are being played and realizing this is what you need to happen for you to get in. This is what you don't need to happen. And then just watching stuff go the way you didn't need it to. So that's probably what we shouldn't have been doing. But walking into that room was scary, man. Natural reaction is to look at the coaches. Like, I'm going to try to get a read off Coach Clement of what his body language is, like, what is he showing? Is he like, because typically, before the selection show, from what I've been told. So we knew before the selection show we were in, but we weren't told that. But someone knew at the time. So I was trying to get a read, like what's going on, all this stuff. And I never could get a read enough to where I was confident. And I sat in that chair and I texted Peyton. He was sitting right next to me, but no one was really saying a word. Everyone was kind of dead silent. And I texted him. I said, "There's no way we're in." And he said, "You don't think so?" I'm like, "No, there's no way." And leading up to the week, I'm being honest with you guys, as I would with anyone. I thought there was no chance at the time. I tried to be as confident as I could and as positive with our team, telling guys, "Hey, let's keep working. There's a chance we're in. And if they give us a chance, let's just run with it." But deep down, I'm not sure if I really thought we were going to make it.
Garrett, I'm with you. I thought it was NC State, honestly, was going to get that last slot.
Yeah, I'm with you too. I didn't know anything about NC State at the time, but then after the selection show happened, I saw, a lot of stuff on social media about them not making it. And
they made the right choice.
I understand why they were upset though.
Well, of course, but
Randy, they won it all, though, so it's easy for you to say that. Right?
No,
choice, bro.
no. I didn't think NC State's resume. I'll tell Tommy White this to his face, man. I didn't think they had the resume that Ole Miss did.
You didn't say it to his face a couple weeks ago when he was on here.
I wasn't on here, but anyway.
Yeah,
so
hold on. I got a question, and I never asked this to anybody else, but I figure now's a good time.
Yeah.
Had you guys not made it in, would you have been like, "Oh man, we got screwed," or would you have been like, "All right, that's on us. Like we needed to do more"?
I would have been the type of guy that's on us. We didn't deserve it if we didn't get in. We didn't do enough to obviously please the people that make that selection. But I think there would have been a lot of people that felt that we got screwed. I think the hardest part of the whole situation was the stretch we put together at the end of the season. If we don't put together that stretch, we're not making the tournament. But the stretch we put together to Southern Miss, to LSU, we dropped 2 games to A&M, which was tough. But I think we ended up winning 7 of our last 9 SEC games, which was huge. But then we lose first game of the SEC tournament. So it was hard,
that's a tough draw. Vandy, day one, that's tough.
Hey Randy, I got to thinking about it because you said you weren't here for Tommy White. I'm gonna ask Garrett what he thinks. What do you think about Randy skipping Tommy White and Ben Joyce to go to Disney? I mean, I can't believe this guy.
Man, hey, I regret nothing.
So,
and when you see him wearing a Tennessee hat, he missed Ben Joyce.
Yeah, I mean, dime a dozen. So listen, Garrett, let's get back to you for a second. So obviously you talked about him already, Tim Elko, and getting a statue. The guy deserves it. He's the epitome of what a leader should be. But I think, he gets a little bit too much credit for one thing. he says don't let the Rebs get hot, but coach has made a change and put you in the starting lineup, and all of a sudden then we're winning 7 out of 9. We're making the tournament. I mean, you don't start all year. He makes the change. So talk to me, one, how excited were you for the opportunity, and how does that conversation go with you and the coaching staff?
Yeah, I was, extremely excited and fired up for the chance. Crazy thing about college baseball and at our level is you just never know when your opportunity will come. Someone could get hurt, just someone's not playing good. The hardest part is, you got to be locked in every time, every practice, every game, because you never know when that chance will be. And I can promise you, if you're not a teammate, if you're not a good teammate, a team player, and you don't care, and then your chance is coming, it's going to be tough to succeed, So I think having my teammates having my back, rooting for me, knowing, the stuff I went through, the stuff I, did in practice, knowing that I actually cared and was bought into everything we were doing helped a lot. Now the reason I played, I absolutely hate. TJ McCants got injured in the Coral Gables Regional playing center field, diving for a ball, hurt his thumb. He came up to me in the dugout and he's like, "Hey, you need to be ready." I was like, "What are you talking about?" And, he's like, I can't move my thumb. I can't squeeze my glove. So I didn't know at the time, what was going to happen. He tried to play catch in between innings, couldn't do it. So I figured, there's a good chance. So I kind of, I was already locked in before, but, kind of take it to the next state in my mind. Like, this is go time. And this is what I've been waiting for ever since I've stepped on campus here at Ole Miss. And I think that's what fired me up and, got me excited for the opportunity. But it wasn't really like a sit down conversation with the coaching staff just because it happened mid game. So It was kind of like a, "Hey, Wood, you're going in" type of deal.
Called your name again.
Yeah, Wood, here you go. And then after that, it was kind of, I just never knew at the time, I didn't know if I was going to play when TJ would be back healthy, which I was hoping would be the next day. That's one of my best friends here. But I would find out, on the bus ride to the field, "Hey, I'm in the lineup today," and just try to roll with it as long as I could. And it was awesome. I'm really thankful for that opportunity and, got to show a little bit of, who I am and what I can be as a player.
No, absolutely. So as if you guys haven't faced enough adversity, you go down to Coral Gables and you're having to wait out a hurricane. There's like 20 inches of rain. You're doing all that. So talk about the teams. Are you guys at this point still elated to be there? You're just ready to hit the field, or talk about how is that point is the coaching staff keeping everybody focused, saying, "Hey, we might have to go here. We might have to go then."
Yeah, I think Coach B does a really good job about that, about keeping everyone ready. And, we practice that stuff throughout the fall, and he talks about it a lot. We do a lot of mental game stuff about just keeping everyone prepared because you never know. He talks about controlling what you can control a lot and not worry about the uncontrollables like the weather, stuff like that. Now, don't get me wrong. It wasn't fun sitting there in their weight room crammed in for hours before the game. And then, showing up, we got breakfast 4 hours before the game, and then we show up to the field 2.5 hours early, and then we get hot and then we get shut down for 2 hours and then we go back out, and that part's obviously not fun, but I think that makes the story a little more fun. So
absolutely. So the story goes, you guys get through the Coral Gables region, then you head to Hattiesburg, ultimately punch your ticket to Omaha, take care of business, obviously bring home, I don't want to skip ahead too much, but you bring home the first national championship for Ole Miss. Obviously, as you're a kid that's growing up in Oklahoma, you talked about the route you wanted to go and not taking that first offer, and then you get this chance. Did you ever dream that you could win a national championship at the absolute pinnacle of college baseball?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's hard to say. Growing up, I think that's something, you dream of, but it's really hard to comprehend and understand, at a young age. You just want to be like those guys that are on the field or want to be given that chance. I think once you get into the actual college level and you're on a team that has a chance, I think your mindset turns a little bit differently, where you want it, like you can do it. Your team has the possibility of winning a national championship. So I think that makes it more fun rather than being the young kid who just wants to be in that situation where you're actually in the situation, like you're fighting to win a national championship. So I think that makes it interesting.
Yeah. So last question, I'm going to turn you over to Jim. Obviously, you didn't grow up in Mississippi, with that rivalry with Mississippi State, but it really struck me as growing up in this area that Mississippi State wins one, and then the very next year, their bitter rival wins one. Did that make your title just a little bit not sweeter?
For me, no, not personally.
You wanted to win it first?
Oh, I mean, I'm not big into the rival with Mississippi State. Obviously, I'm not from here. I've only been here for 3 years, so I'm not big into the rivalry. All those guys are really good guys when we play them, and I respect all those guys. So I'm not big into the rivalry, but there is some guys on our team that are from this area that don't like that team, or not that team, don't like that school. So I think that made it a little more important for them. But for me, not personally, really. I think I was just excited for our team at the moment.
All right, I lied. This is my last question for real.
Yeah.
Walk us through when you guys do. You get the last out, and you're the national championship. What's the first thing through your mind?
I don't even know if I could think. I don't even know if I remember, doing what we did. I remember just sitting on the rail when Brandon Johnson went in for the ninth, walked up to the stairs, and I don't know if that was the best move to make, but everyone was ready to run out there, and you didn't know what could happen. 3 outs is a lot of outs, especially in that situation and between these type of teams. But just taking off on there and dogpiling. And the only thing I remember actually from the dogpile is being on top of Ben Van Cleve, and he was on his back.
It's better to be on top of him than him be on top of you, my friend.
Yeah. That's the truth. So I was on top of him, and he was fired up. And then within 10 seconds, he's yelling, "I can't breathe. Get off, get off." And then after that was just a huge celebration, and running around the field was really cool there, and seeing our fans. It was awesome. It was a fun moment.
Yeah, a guy of his size, no offense, definitely don't want to be at the bottom of that dog pile. You were coming from the outfield anyway. Were you because you were in during that game?
I was not in during the final game. No, I was not. Okay. So I was coming from the dugout with Ben.
Gotcha. Oh man, Ben, I'm sure was the first guy to try to get in there.
Hold on, Garrett. So that means if Ben Van Cleve and you were both in the dugout, and he was on the bottom and you was on the top, he beat you?
Correct.
He beat you?
Correct. I did a little slow jog out there. I wasn't trying to be on the very bottom of that thing.
Strategic move. Well played.
Before we get into talking about next season, because you brought up Hayden Leatherwood, he actually happened to text me and ask me how the episode was going, and he wanted me to ask you to talk about what your dad does by putting a Bible verse every day in a group message for you guys.
Yeah, so a couple of years ago, my dad's been coaching all over high school level. He coached at the college level back home in Oklahoma at Rogers State, and has grown some really good relationships throughout the game of baseball with college players, high school players, parents. But he started a Bible verse group text maybe like 6 years ago, I want to say, in which he sends out a new Bible verse every morning, which is really just to start your day off. And I think that's something that's impacted his life a lot, and he's trying to impact others. But it's really just that close knit group of people. So he has players that he coached, guys like Dylan Bundy that are in that group text. And then I try to do my part by bringing guys in from our team, so I've added a couple guys from our team into this group message that they have, they've had the privilege to meet my dad when he's came down. And my dad, just loves sharing the word and tries to do it every morning. So I think it's pretty awesome.
Well, it shows it means something because obviously, like I said, Hayden took the opportunity to get me to bring it up to you on the air because he felt like it needed the recognition. So good stuff from your dad. So, talking about this next upcoming season, you lose a lot of guys. We talk about Hayden and Ben, obviously Elko, Graham, Johnson, DeLucia. I mean, the list goes on and on. But with that great opportunity coming for you, you've been waiting your time. You'll also have a top 4 recruiting class coming in. You got a lot of returning guys. So y'all been playing ball this fall, talk to me. How's the guys look, the returning players, the new players, how are we looking?
Yeah, I think we're looking really good. I think most teams say that too, but I actually mean that. We did lose some key pieces, which is, definitely hard to replace. Some big name guys, but I think we've got the shoes to fill them. We got some good junior college recruits, some really good freshmen, as you mentioned, a pretty good recruiting class. But the fall's been, going really well. A lot of guys are stepping up and showing that they can compete at this level. And I think we got a chance to be pretty good.
Yeah. So for you, I know you can play. You're that utility guy. You can play anywhere. You've obviously talked about playing outfield. I know you can play third base. Where is it? It's looking like right now that you're most likely going to be at.
I would think third base at this moment. I've been playing corner infield mainly this fall, first base and third base. But I think third base is, the spot I'm going for, and hoping that, that's where I land.
And that's what I had heard. And, I wanted to confirm that from you. And I bring it up because, you got Jacob Gonzalez and Peyton Chotinier in the infield with you. I mean, does it get better than that?
Yeah, it's impressive. It's a good guys to have up the middle for sure. So
Yeah. So talk to me about pitching, outside of, maybe like Hunter Elliott that everybody in the world knows. Talk to me about the arms, to watch, or to those listening who maybe don't know.
right. I think we got a lot of good new guys. And obviously returners, guys like Mason Nichols, Jack Doherty, Josh Mallets, guys like that, stepped up and showed that they can perform, at the biggest stage last year. Those guys are going to be huge pieces no matter what. But new guys like Grayson Saunier, a freshman from Tennessee, from Memphis area, I believe, Collierville. He's really impressive. He's going to be a really good guy. He turned down some money to come here, and he's going to get a lot more money, I think, by the time he leaves here. So he's a big guy for us. More guys like Cole Tolbert, who's a junior college guy, Tommy Henninger, who's also a junior college guy, both really good arms. And then we got some guys that, came in throwing pretty hard. Freshman JT Quinn, up to 98 so far. Who else was with him? Patrick Galley up to 97. So some pretty good, some high talent arms, high velo arms coming in. But even more than that, the guys have a feel to pitch, which I think is more important at this level. So those are a couple guys, and I'm sure I'm missing some, and sorry to those guys, but those are some names that pop up to my head.
Yeah, no, and you talk about the young guys, and Hunter Elliott, to go back to the name I dropped, is a perfect example of how a freshman can come in and make a huge impact. So I mean, you never know. It could be the returning guys, it could be the new guys. You never know who's gonna take that spot and run with it. I'll be there this Saturday when y'all have your scrimmage against UAB. Give me a position player, not one of the usual suspects, not one of the returning guys. Give me a guy that I need to be watching out for that maybe he's flying under the radar.
I think the reason he's flying under the radar is because it's his first year. But Ethan Leger, he's an infielder that came from Delgado Community College. He can flat out play. I think he's going to be a really big piece to our success this year. Can hit, really good arm, can run, good body. He's someone you need to watch for sure.
I'm just glad that, there's a chance of rain. So actually I should hold my tongue about this, but I'm just glad it's not 30 degrees. I mean, I talked about being out there with your brother coming out them fall games last year. That was miserable, bro.
Oh yeah, I know. Hopefully we got 7 more games. Hopefully we can get through with some good weather, and then I don't care what it does after that.
Yeah, and you said you could only take so much from fall ball, but I did a write-up after watching y'all in fall ball last year, and I'll pat my own back. I picked y'all to go on ball. You can see a lot. I mean, I saw the talent that was on the field, and I'll be there to judge you guys this upcoming weekend, and then I'll be back in Baton Rouge to see them the next weekend. I'll do a little comparison. But with that, bringing up LSU, I want to talk about the SEC. I talked about the SEC West had the top 4 recruiting classes. You look at the guys coming back, looking ahead at the schedule, I know that you say all opponents are created equal, but there's got to be, honestly, is there a series, whether it's a home away that you're really looking forward to in the SEC this year?
Mississippi State for sure. Those fans there are electric. I went there my first year here when we played at Mississippi State, and it was crazy. We had fans waiting, at the gates before we even got there, waiting for us to get in, yelling and all that stuff. But just the atmosphere there is really cool, which I think is what makes SEC so special. Is, the type of people you get to play in front of, the crazy fans and crowds. So Mississippi State's for sure what I'm looking forward to.
And I know you're looking for some get back in their stadium.
Yeah, we need it. We need some get back for a while, so we'll see.
Well, I'm going to end with this. Speaking of get back, just so we're clear, LSU's coming to town April 21st to the 23rd, and my boys are going to get some get back. Because you know what, Garrett? I went down there to Baton Rouge for that series and watched y'all absolutely wax us. All right, and I'm not appreciative of that at all. So now I'm not going to have to drive 5 hours. I'm driving 45 minutes down the road, and my boy's going to get some get back because, man, you made for a miserable weekend. You guys just, it was, other than the Dylan Cruz home run that Friday night before the storm, after that, it was just straight beat down, and you put me through it, man. Oh.
that was a big weekend for us. That turned our season around a lot. But,
yeah, no doubt. I mean, y'all brought it, and I think my favorite part of this, Dylan DeLucia came on here, and we didn't know that, and it was great to be able to. I actually told Dylan Cruz this a couple weekends ago when we were in Baton Rouge at dinner, that Dylan said that the reason he came back out, he pleaded his case to Coach B to pitch on Saturday after pitching Friday night, was he was so pissed off about Dylan taking him yard.
yeah.
And I said, just so you know, Dylan, I was like, you woke up a sleeping giant, because obviously you remember DeLucia came out there and absolutely shoved Saturday.
Yeah, that was impressive for him to, throw 40 pitches on Friday night, and the weather, gets banged, and then got to wake up the next morning and already sore and went through his whole routine, and then, does it again and, has a phenomenal game the next morning. But yeah, Dylan Cruz, he can be upset about that, but at least he gave it up to a really good hitter. So
no doubt.
So Garrett, before we hop into this game, man, I had one, kind of question that popped in my head. Obviously, you come off a national championship, and you guys are now, the target. Everyone's chasing you. You're going to get everybody's best shot.
right.
And I'm sure coach speak is out there about, can't rest on your laurels. Last year was last year. It's a new year, but as players, when you guys are off the field, is that something that you guys openly discuss? Hey, we can't get caught up into what was last year. We can appreciate it, but this is something totally different.
Yeah, I think the biggest, the time we really only talk about it is when it's just us returner guys together. I don't want to be that guy, or, I don't think our team wants to be that team that, talks in front of the new guys. Hey, we're national champions, all this stuff, that's last year. It's time to move on with these new guys that we have, and try to win another one and let them be involved in it. I think as returners, we just talk about how cool the experience it was, how awesome and how blessed we were to be there. But I think it helps us play with more confidence this year, going into the fall, going into the upcoming season, just have more confidence, and bring these guys along for the ride and see if we can do it again.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, it solidifies the expectations that we already knew were in place. Is that when you come to Ole Miss, you're playing for a national championship. That's
right.
what it's all about. And now that you won one, like, it's a very real accomplishment and task because you've done it before.
Right.
So it's going to be interesting to see how things shake out. I mean, you're the champ until somebody beats you, man. So that's the way that I look at it, and looking forward to you guys, getting after it again this season.
Randy,
Yeah,
I noticed, Randy, they made sure Tennessee wasn't on that schedule, bro.
Hey man, they hoisted the trophy at the end of the year.
I was gonna see if I could bait you out. You wouldn't even take it.
They
Hey,
hoisted. You don't win a trophy by a 3-game sweep, even no matter how dominant it is.
Yeah, them boys were good though. Them boys were good.
Yeah, well, Notre Dame was better.
Okay, I guess so.
Jack
That's
Brannigan
baseball.
was better.
Hey, that's what makes baseball so special.
Garrett, that
Yeah.
took the fun out. I never would have said it. I thought I could have baited Randy out to talk some crap, but you know what? He gave me the flowers. He said
Garrett has been so humble and mature this whole time. Like, if this had been like BVC we were talking to, I'm giving him the business. But I'm not. Garrett's just been like the model citizen.
Yeah, he would have loved it and tried to give something right back to you.
He tried, but when he went at DB and DB went back at him, he was like, what? Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, Garrett, man, let's play a game, man, before we get you out of here, dude.
What we got?
It's called This or That. Very simple. I give you two options. You choose one option or the other. Can't say both. Can't say neither. Pick one. Be decisive. Real quick to the punch, man.
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. A layup question to start us off. Pizza or tacos?
Pizza.
What's your favorite pizza? Please tell
Plenty.
me it doesn't involve pineapple.
No chance. Thin crust pepperoni every time.
I can get with that. Let me ask you this. Are you a eat your pizza with a fork kind of dude? If you are, we're gonna have
let me hear
a
what you got to
conversation.
say. I will only eat pizza with a fork if it's thick crust and I'm using ranch.
All right, I can handle that.
Yeah.
Some clowns are out there just going to town with their knife and their fork.
No, not me.
All that. All right, You can only keep one, and the layup questions are over with.
All right.
But you can only keep one: the powder blue uniforms or the camo hat. Which one are you keeping? Which one's going in the garbage forever?
The camo hat I'm keeping.
Keep it.
Yeah.
Why is that? Why the hat and not the blues? The blues are pretty popular.
The Blues are one of the coolest uniforms I think in college baseball. But when it comes to the comfortability of them, I think we have other uniforms that are more comfortable than those uniforms. That's why I would keep the camo hat.
Okay, all right. Would you rather go to the beach or the lake?
The lake. That's just
Lake.
because growing up from Oklahoma, that's what we do all the time. So I think the lake.
There ain't a beach in Oklahoma?
Nope. I wish.
What is more iconic in Ole Miss folklore? Is it the stash of Tim Elko, or is it the nice, flowing, beautiful locks of Hunter Elliott?
Oh. The beautiful locks of Hunter Elliott.
Finally,
just-
somebody spoke the truth. Finally,
Tim is gonna hate me for that answer, but I'm going for it because
Hey.
Hunter is consistent with it. Tim sometimes has it, sometimes doesn't. I think that's what I'm going with.
All right, consistency is king, man. Would you rather play wiffle ball or dodgeball?
Wiffle ball. Yeah.
All the pitchers say dodgeball. Every pitcher we have on the show is like, I want to play dodgeball.
Yeah. They all think they can throw hard and throw it at people, and you can.
they can.
Everyone, they can. They can throw it way harder than I can. But hey, you can play pegs and wiffle ball. Come on.
True. Those aren't fun either.
No, those aren't. I wouldn't want to play pegs with pitchers.
Daniel, this show's about Garrett, but I've never actually asked you the question, and because you were a pitcher, but wiffle ball was our game. Would you rather play wiffle ball or dodgeball?
Dodgeball, 100%.
So it is a pitcher thing.
Yeah, I'm no holds bar. Like, at least like when you're playing wiffle ball, there's like some semblance of structure and rules that you got to play by.
Yeah.
In dodgeball, it's just like you just got to hit the other person. Doesn't matter where, how, just as hard as you
between
can.
the lines and throw it.
Yep, that's it. Plus, it's a game of like, it's like beast mode game. Like, I don't want to think too much when I'm playing a game like that. I just want to rip it and go.
True. I respect it.
So, concert or sporting event, and let me put it in context. This is not just like a average. Oh, I'm gonna go up the road and catch the acoustic show tonight. No, this is a bucket list concert or a bucket list sporting event. You can only pick one.
Concert for sure.
All right, who is your bucket list concert? Taylor Swift just came out with a new album.
No,
like it?
I haven't heard that yet. I should probably download it, huh?
It was pretty cute. It's titled Midnight, and it came out at midnight.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's crazy. I'm gonna go with, if I'm gonna go on the rap side of music, I'm gonna go with Lil Baby. That's my favorite rapper. And if I'm going countryside, I'm gonna go with Cody Johnson. That would be the two concerts that I would like to go to.
He wants to go where they're both performing at the same concert.
And that would be
There it is.
cool. I just don't know if I could get that combination.
Randy, make a call. You can make it happen.
Yeah,
I got you.
Let's go. You
So
got
Garrett,
yeah.
Randy knows everybody.
Yeah. You come to that Grizz game, man. I got you.
All right,
Yep.
I'm coming.
Lil Baby might actually be there.
He was there the other night.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
So Garrett, if when you're in your car, actually, let's take it. Let's be more specific here. The last time you were in your car and you got out, what was the last song playing on the radio?
I was definitely playing music on my phone for sure. I never listened to the radio.
All right. What song was on?
Oklahoma Smoke Show by Zach Bryan. You need to check it out if you like that style of music. It's really good.
It is. I know it.
Yeah, it's good.
I mean, the title's pretty cute. I like that.
Cute.
Yeah.
Hey, he's from there.
That's cute.
All right.
All right. Would you rather be a hero or a villain?
A hero, I guess. I don't know. I'm not big into the that type of stuff, so I don't really know.
No.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite hero, or who do you think the the best hero is?
I have zero clue. I don't know if I've ever seen any of those movies that those type of people are involved in.
Oh man.
Just
I mean, you
probably
didn't even watch no Batmans or
no,
nothing?
I've never seen any of that stuff.
So let me give you the easy answer. And
Let's
I stole this from someone. I can't remember what guest said this. But when you don't know who your favorite hero is, you
Yeah.
just say Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus
My
wins
hero.
all.
Yeah.
That's it.
That or when they say mom or dad, that's usually always solid.
Yeah. Mom, for sure.
There you go. All right, last question. It's a big question. Would you rather have massive success on accident or modest success on purpose?
Massive success on accident.
Man, that's a good answer.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's the
Re-
best answer, right?
Yeah, Randy, you can break it down for him. You know, he
You
gets
know, we always have these people that come on and say, you know, they want to earn everything and do this and do that. And then I just break it down pretty simple. If I was to tell you I'm going to give you $100 million or you can earn $20 million, which one would you pick?
You can give me $100 million. I'll do anything for that.
Every single day and twice on Sundays. But then you got, oh, I want to earn it. Okay, well, now I got $80 more million than you because you want to be a dummy.
Yeah, I'll take it right now. Whatever you need.
Absolutely.
their pride just they get caught up in it, man.
Yeah.
Somebody wants to give me money. I ain't
There's nothing wrong with luck in anything. So
not at all. Garrett, man, before you get out of here, anything you want to plug or promote?
not at this time, I don't think. I just want to, give a shout out to my family, my mom and dad for everything they've done for me. Didn't get to talk about my mom a lot in this video as it's, mainly a baseball type of deal. But she impacts my life more than she could ever imagine. And shout out to my brothers, even the one that likes to hype me up a little bit. Maybe he can slow down a little bit. You do not tell everyone, that you think I'm good. But no, just, thanks for my family and appreciate you guys for allowing me on here today.
Absolutely, man. We are thankful to have you on finally, and we're looking forward to another magical season for you guys, man.
I hope so. Let's do it.
All right. If you want to know more about Garrett Wood, you want to see what he's doing on the weekend, you want to see what's going on TikTok with him and Peyton. If you just want to see Ole Miss baseball stuff, him, in these hype videos, go over to Instagram at Garrett_Wood 22, or you could just see Ole Miss baseball at Ole Miss BSB on Instagram. Garrett, man, we wish you nothing but luck and the best this season. If there's anything we could do for you, please reach out to us, man.
Thank you guys so much. If there's anything I can do, let me know. So I appreciate you guys.
Sir,
You got
appreciate
it.
you.
That's Garrett Wood, everybody. We are going to take a break. When we come back, we got some headlines.